Hello again. I'm still Ben. And now that you've watched the intro and disclaimer videos, or at least you should have, please go watch those if you haven't. Welcome to the first video that's going to be in the policy section. And hopefully you can already tell this is much less scripted than before. This is the one that I'll be explaining kind of how this is going to work. As you can see here, I have a hat. In this hat, it's going to go this stack of topics. I wonder if the Foley caught that or not. And I'm going to sort of just one by one pick these out and go over them. Except for the one that is today. The importance of regular people. Now, that's because I think people should be able to talk naturally about the things they believe in, if it's true. We see politicians on TV hemming and hawing and going, well, it's complicated, and so you know they're full of it. If someone's going to tell you what their real beliefs are, they shouldn't have a problem just rambling on about it like this. So when I say the importance of regular people, even though that is sort of a little bit more philosophy than policy, I just figure that this playlist is going to be the one that people try to go to first. So this one should be right at the top. And then from this, it'll just be me pulling things out of hats and all of them going to their respective playlists. But what I mean by normal people is people who are not professional politicians. We've got this sort of separate society here that are all politically trained and very fancy, and they're all in with each other, and that's a huge part of the problem, I think. This was not designed to do it that way here. That's not how any of this was supposed to be designed. It was supposed to be for normal people, which, I know there's not a lot of variance in the people who drafted the Constitution for what normal and acceptable was. But even they weren't mostly professional politicians in any way. They were military men, farmers, lawyers, things that they had to give up a more lucrative career in order to be a public servant for a while. That's the kind of thing that we need when I talk about the importance of regular people. There's going to be probably some pauses. I'm going to have to just talk through it because my brain is buffering because this is not what I really want to do, but we've hit a wall, everybody, where we can't afford to ignore the tyranny we're under. So we're just going to keep pressing forward, and I think that's about as regular as I can be for a regular person. It's designed that way intentionally. The Constitution has, in fact, several kinds of what if no one runs for office contingencies. And that sounds crazy just now, didn't it? Like, what if nobody from your state becomes a senator? What if just nobody wants to run, nobody wants to do it? It was designed that way because the people who started it knew that it was supposed to be crap. And that's the way I think we need to make it again. We need to have regular people doing this job, and we need to eliminate the class of professionals that are holding all the cards above us. Now, I know that sounds a little scary for a lot of people because regular people are even less experienced with that kind of thing, and that's how we've kind of let it get out of control, I think. We've just passed it off to this group of people who've gone to school for it and done everything else for it. I mean, I have a poli-sci degree, but that didn't make any money, so what? It's not that we don't need experts. We absolutely do. We have to trust experts when we're crafting policy, and that's sort of where we should be focusing the direction. But the people who need to be elected officials that way need to be much more normal, and it needs to be a much wider berth of individuals. I think I just saw, as a matter of fact, recently, I don't remember if it was a town or a little area of Denmark, effectively put 30 random people, 30 random citizens in charge of their kind of city council or whatever they would call it there. And it seemed to be working out so far. They just picked them out of a hat the way that I'm going to do. And I'm not suggesting that we start there, but I think we have to start with understanding that this is a group of people that are separate from us. They think of themselves as separate from us, and they haven't had any sort of normal careers, maybe ever. So it's no wonder that they don't understand how things work, and they don't understand what we want or how it should go. I've had people like Joe Biden. He started his political career in 1970. He was an elected official for over 50 years. That is entirely unacceptable for a democracy. That is way too long for one person. And moreover, you're telling me that you can do that job for 50 years and not get any results? You can do that job and not know everybody? Imagine going into the same office for 50 years and then getting on TV and having to say, well, other people are stopping me from doing things. You don't know how to work with them by now? Half of those other ones are already there for 30 years, and you've been there for 50. It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable for a constantly flowing democracy here, where we have to repeat these jobs and replace them with new people. It's designed to be a temp job, and we need to start treating them like temp jobs. And then I think, that alone will start to fix a lot of the problems that we're seeing, because we can't unseat all these people who are in their own little microcosm of a society. I guess that pretty much sums up this policy pretty well. I will go through more videos. I'll just pick them out of the hat, whether it's the policies or the philosophies. I haven't written down any of the about me's yet. That's probably a lot easier to do. But for the sake of this, I don't think you're going to be trusted if you can't talk off the cuff about what you think. So thank you for watching this first policy video, and I hope you continue to watch them. Again, I've been Ben Howison, and Sursum Corda.